Hi, welcome, I'm Hannah, and I'm going to be trying on a bunch of new Sephora products on my face today. These are all things that I talked about in my VIB haul that probably went up yesterday. I know I'm a little behind and we're not really talking about the sale anymore, but a good product is still a good product even if it didn't just come out, even if it's not like cutting edge. So yeah, let's get into me trying 7 new products on my face. Here we go. I don't usually start with my brows for my makeup routine, but I kind of can't stand to look at myself like this, and I have like a black dot in my brows. I don't know. So I have the Brow Pop from Kosas. I have the shade Taupe. I haven't watched any reviews on this. I don't know if there were even any reviews to read on it when I bought it. I just really liked the packaging and I was feeling a little wild. I used to use the Anastasia years ago and I stopped buying it because I went through it so quickly, and now I use the Anastasia powder. So I'm mostly a powder girl. I like having a pencil around though, just for when I want something a little bit more structured, if I want to kind of like line the bottom, line the top, and then fill in the rest with powder. But I'm just going to try to see what I can do right now using just this. So there's a spoolie on one side, that's nice. I do like to brush them up. Should I be concerned? Like, this wasn't there yesterday, so I'm assuming I just got like eyeliner in there or something. The tip of it's kind of refusing to focus, but it's kind of like triangular, if you can tell in that blurry way. So I don't know, I wonder like what the point of it is? Or if it's just supposed to like look cool. Like, I'm definitely not a brow product expert. I feel like it's coming out and it's looking darker than I would have thought. Right? I'm gonna swatch this with my hand just to see. That looks pretty warm actually. I definitely like a more neutral brow. Yeah, I feel like this looks like light and warm. Maybe for the other one I'll try kind of lining it more like I normally would when I'm using a pencil, because this like filling in the whole brow thing, I think is what makes them go by really quick, and like I just don't even know if I like the look of it right now. And also still like that black dot. Well, I feel like with this filled in thing we can really see the color pretty well. It's not terribly warm. Like, I feel like if this was my only option I would be okay with it, but I just don't think it's my perfect color. Yeah, I think especially when I'm a little bit closer, it looks like a warm taupe. Like, I think it looks warmer than my roots, and I want it to kind of match my roots. Okay, so for this one, I'm just going to try to line it. And then I generally brush the top down so I can line the top. I think this was like a Nikki Tutorials thing from years ago, and I don't often do this anymore, but I'm not opposed to it. And then I would fill the rest in with powder. But I think it looks too warm. And also for the purposes of this, since I'm trying out this, I'm just going to fill it in more with this. It's fine. I think it does feel like a little bit rough on my skin. I'm curious what other people are saying about this. I'm also curious if there's like a cool taupe or something, like something that acknowledges that this isn't that neutral, like it definitely leans warm. I'm gonna check on the site. Yeah, so the taupe calls itself Cool Blonde, and I don't think that this is cool. There's also Honey Blonde, which I would think is supposedly the warm version of this. Soft Brown is light brown / dark blonde. Maybe that would be a better color for me, but I feel like the picture on the site looks kind of warm on that too. It has like 4.5 stars. I'm not seeing anything about people thinking it's warm. People seem like they like it. This person says specifically that they think the taupe is cool compared to other pencils. I don't know, am I wrong? Am I crazy? I don't know. It's warmer than I'd like. So the next thing I'm going to try out is probably the least new out of anything I'm trying out today. It's the Tarte Water Foundation. I probably said this yesterday, but I tend to like Tarte foundations because the colors are very consistent. The fair light neutral is a very good match for me. I also find that the staying power for them tends to be pretty good, and that's really important to me in any kind of skin product. I don't want to have to worry about it separating and looking really bad after a couple hours. I want it to kind of like fade away evenly, even if I leave it on for, 12 plus hours. And also nowadays I do like a light coverage, which I think this purports to be. It says to shake well. I don't know how much to put on. I feel like this dropper just does not work. Like, it has the little dropper, and I think like, okay, it worked that time. Never mind. Maybe I was kind of half-assing it a second ago and it felt like I wasn't really getting much out of it. Which, I mean, this is not going to be my favorite kind of applicator anyway. I definitely prefer like a pump or a squeeze tube. Yeah. Coverage looks really light. Like, did that do anything? So I think it applied evenly and everything. I don't think it did anything weird, but I don't think it did much of anything at all. I like a light coverage, but I do want it to kind of like even my tone a little bit. And I'm not sure if this did anything. Yeah, I don't know. I'll leave a note on the screen about how it wore. But so far, like, I can't imagine an occasion that I would choose this over like, I really like the CoverGirl Tinted Moisturizer. I've used the Fenty Eavesdrop a couple times, and I do like that one. I think I would, as of my first impression, choose those if I wanted something light and easy with minimal coverage to even out my skin tone. Sorry if I'm a sourpuss. So next up from Kosas, Super Creamy and Brightening Concealer Revealer. This, again, I really like the packaging. I feel like Kosas is just doing a really good job with like the packaging and like the cool girl vibe. I've seen other people get this and be off of the shades. I think Lauren May Beauty, who I think is a really similar shade to me, got like 3.5, I think, and it was super dark for her. I went with shade 1. It's supposed to be light with neutral peach undertones. I usually don't go for like peach or anything, but I think that there wasn't a neutral. I think that was the issue. Yeah, there was nothing that said neutral, and neutral peach sounded like the best I could get, so I went for it. Yeah, the 0.5 is a very light with neutral undertones, but it looks like it would be white on me. Okay, so it's like a little bit of like a paddle brush. That's acceptable. I generally like more full coverage concealer, but if something blends really nicely, I'm not opposed to have it for kind of like no makeup days where I want something to kind of dab on and blend out with my fingers. Seems like it has some coverage to it. Maybe not. I feel like it's just like kind of smudging everything around. I feel bad that I'm not liking anything right now, but I don't really feel like this is doing that much for me. It's giving me some coverage, but I don't think that it's kind of like wearing very well. Like, I don't think it looks really good on top of my skin. Like, I think even here, like, you can see like my nose and under my eye look pretty textured, and that's not something that I generally like struggle with. I don't know. Again, I don't despise it. Also, I think the color is pretty good. Pretty good for like a little bit of like a brightening concealer, but like so far nothing to write home about. Hopefully I'll start to have a little bit more luck because I really want to like this one. This is the Tower 28 BeachPlease Luminous Tinted Balm in Magic Hour. I feel like the shade is just so pretty. It's like a slightly peachy pink. I love like the purple font on it. It's so pretty. I'm not the biggest cream blush person, but I do appreciate them. I do like the natural look that it gives. This is hard to open though. Did I have this problem in the haul? It's actually hard to open. I feel like I'm gonna break my nail. There we go. So pretty. Let's see. Okay, it's like a very balmy, kind of like lip balm consistency. And it does kind of feel like I'm putting a lip balm on my cheek. Okay, I do like this. I think the color is really pretty. It's like kind of gliding on and blending with my finger with really minimal effort. I am concerned always with this kind of consistency that it's like my hair is gonna get stuck to it, like it's just gonna end up being really annoying. But I could definitely imagine kind of like popping it on my cheeks to go to the beach, kind of like an easy vacation look. And I also like how this kind of balmy texture picks up the light, and I feel like it kind of gives me like a little bit of like a natural highlight because it gives my cheeks kind of like a sweaty finish. I do have another lip product that I will be testing, but this says you can use it on the cheeks and lips, so I want to kind of try it on my lips. I'm kind of surprised that it looks this light on my lips. Yeah, like maybe with the lip liner it would be fine, but I would probably only use this like in a pinch. And if I'm in that pinch and I had a lip liner, I would probably just wear a lip liner. But on my cheeks, I like it. So I also got this Kosas Color and Light Cream Blush Duo in Velvet Melon. I ended up stumbling upon this because I wanted a cream highlighter. So I'm not going to use the blush side right now, but I will use the highlight side. And it looks a little bit golden, more golden than I expected. It also has a balmy consistency, but it's a little bit kind of like softer and looser than the Tower 28 one. Glides on really easily. It's not really giving me much, which maybe like I would have expected. And I think if anything, it's kind of creating a harsh line here when I look forward, which I specifically do not want anymore with highlighters. Yeah, I think from the side it's fine, but it was also fine with just the Tower 28 Dew finish, you know? Yeah, that's interesting. I wasn't expecting to have like a strong feeling about this, but I kind of don't like it. All right, interesting. I'm curious now if I'm going to like the cheek side. You know, what the hell, I'll pop a little bit of the cheek side on top also. It has the same consistency as the highlight side, comes up really easily. All right, it's kind of hard to tell on its own. I think the color is looking fine. This is definitely making the cheek more peachy. Yeah, okay, so far, no complaints about the blush, but this isn't giving it its fair shot, but the highlight isn't really impressing me. I think sometimes also too, it's hard to try all these things at once and like completely give them a fair shot, because like I am looking at myself with like brows I'm not crazy about, and like definitely like the line under my under eyes I'm not crazy about, and this lip color I'm not crazy about, but I still think I wouldn't be crazy about this highlight situation, even if everything else looked like the best it's ever looked. I do have a creamy eye product to try. Maybe I'll try a little bit of this Kosas as like a primer to kind of even out the tone of my eyelid before I go in with the cream. That might be a lot. Yeah, the concealer worked great for that. I don't think that's like a really hard test for concealer, but I think if anything, it would say more if it didn't work than it says because it did work, you know? For my eyelids, I have Nearly Neutral liquid eyeshadow from Rare Beauty, which I was probably silly to buy because this like nearly neutral kind of thing isn't my general aesthetic. Let's try it out. I think I might use my Real Techniques brush to kind of blend it because I want kind of like a diffused look. Maybe even after I'll pop on like a shimmer for fun. Okay, I was expecting more of like the same kind of flat paddle concealer brush. like the Kosus thing had, but this is definitely more of like, I guess kind of like a doe foot with like a flat end. Kind of interesting. I really like the color. I really like this. Alright, so I definitely went too far in. But this color is really pretty and it went on really easily. I almost didn't want to like this because I felt like I don't need this in my collection, but it's like such a pretty kind of like transition shade that I could really imagine popping this on and then popping the shimmer right on top of it. I don't know, I like it. There might be a little bit of a learning curve for me to not like get into my tear duct like that, but I like it. I'm gonna try a little bit less on this eye. Yeah, I'm not like totally 100% on my shape here either, but at least I went like less in this time. Really pretty. I like it. And then for fun, I'm just gonna tap a little bit of Siren from Sydney Grace on top, just because that's how I imagine myself wearing this. Pretty. This like look is definitely looking way more like it's late at night and I'm just messing around with makeup than like how I actually present myself, but I guess that's exactly what this is. And then the final thing is Thankful Dewy Lip Balm from Rare Beauty. I used this once. I really like this kind of like sheer formula that kind of just comes off right when you like eat or kiss and it doesn't get messy or need too much work to come off of you. Really like nice and glossy feeling on the lips. My only complaint is kind of this really flat head. Like I kind of wish it was more of like a lipstick bullet shape because that's easier to apply with, but so far, you know, this isn't giving me too much trouble, but that is my only complaint. But I really like that. I really like the color. I'm gonna pop on a little bit of like lower lash eyeshadow and like mascara and stuff like that, and then come back and give you my final thoughts. So this is the finished look with some mascara and bottom lash things, and I actually really like it. I could see myself wearing this sort of look out and about, but I probably would use base products that I like better. There were 3 products that I liked a lot in this. I think the lips might be my favorite. I feel like I love the feeling of this. I love the color of it. I'm just really into the Thankful Rare Beauty Lip Balm. I also really liked the Tower 28 blush on this side and the Nearly Neutral Rare Beauty liquid eyeshadow. 4 products I didn't really like that much, just for my own kind of purposes. The Tarte Water Foundation, Kosas brow product. It was just the color was too warm for me and I'm not the biggest pencil person. The Kosas Color and Light, I wasn't really crazy about the highlighter on me. And the Kosus Concealer, I just feel like my under eyes just don't really look like I want them to. But I'm glad I got to try these out. It was fun. And that's everything for today. Thank you so much for watching. I generally try to do a lot more like using what I have type of things, but I am on a little bit of a kick of like new makeup, so we do some of that here also. If you like this, please give me a like and subscribe. It would mean a lot to me. And that's everything for today. Bye.